I'm Anil Kumar, and here is an excellent communication question on sum and difference of functions. If f of x is equals to x squared and g of x equals to mx, where m belongs to real numbers, discuss the characteristics of the function f minus g with respect to type of function, its shape and symmetry, zeros, maximum minimum value, interval of increase or decrease, and domain and range. Well, here we are basically considering two functions. One is a quadratic function, the other one is a linear function. And whenever you have sum or difference, we are taking difference at this time. In that case, we will understand what are the different characteristics of such a combination. So that is the whole idea. Now, when I say type of function, all these things, these list out complete characteristics of combination of a parabola and a line, correct? Now let us see and explore how to find all these characteristics of the given functions. Now these are basically parent functions, right? I actually prefer to take x, but I've taken mx so that it helps you to understand some more aspects of this particular combination. So we have two functions. The first one is f of x equals to x squared, and the second one is g of x is equals to mx. As you know, this is a parabola and that one is a line, right? So let me just sketch them on the side so that it helps you to understand as we move along. So we have two functions here. One is parabola, right? Parent function, kind of like this, correct? And the other one is line. So it could be of very different slope. So let me sketch us with different ink. Okay, so that's a good color. So let's say it goes through the center, of course, and let's say like this. Okay, assume this to be a straight line. That's the combination now. M could be anything. So we say M belongs to real numbers. So if the slope is higher, there'll be more steeper kind of thing, right? So now we are looking into combination of this function. That is, we are saying what is f minus g equals to. So let me solve what f minus g is. It should be x squared minus mx, right? That is what it is. And we could actually factor as x and then we get x minus m. So in the factored form, the combination of these two functions will always be, will have a 0 at 0 and the other one will be at m depending on the slope of this line. If the slope is higher, this point will be further away, kind of. You understand, right? So depending on the slope, if the slope is 1, for example, in that case it will be kind of somewhere here, right? So that is how it is going to be, right? So we get two zeros for this function. And that also is a parabola, right? Now in this parabola, axis symmetry will be right in the center, correct? Now as you can see, I can now draw a parabola which could be kind of like this, right? Representing this particular function. Now let's answer the questions one by one. The first one is, discuss the characteristics of this function with respect to type of function. So first one is type of function. Let's write down. So first one is type of function. We know it's parabola. It's shape and symmetry, right? Then we talk about shape and symmetry, okay. And then we'll talk about zeros, fine. And then maximum minimum value, okay. And then interval of increasing and decreasing. So whether it is increasing or decreasing, and domain and range. Perfect. So domain and range. So these are the characteristics which we are going to discuss for the combination of parabola and a straight line, right? So let's answer them one by one. The very first one is type. So the type of function is a polynomial of degree 2, right? Of degree 2. So you know it's a quadratic function. Okay. Shape is parabola. And symmetry is x equals, you can find midway between them, so x equals to m over 2, right? So that is depending on the slope of the line, parabola with axis of symmetry at m over 2. Zeros will be at x equals to 0 and at x equals to m. Perfect. So that gives you zeros. Maximum, minimum. Now to find maximum, minimum, we can actually either, we know the x is m over 2. So if I substitute now m over 2 for x, I get the y value, right? So in this function we will have a minimum value since it opens upwards, right? So we have minimum. And the point where it will happen will be m over 2, which is the axis. And the y value will be, let me replace x with m over 2. Then what do I get? So let me calculate it separately, right? I'll do it here. So if I write x equals to m over 2, I get m over 2 minus x, sorry, after I write m over 2, I'm writing x over 2, okay, m over, so I'm writing f minus g as, let me call this function h of x. Okay, so this is h of x, right? So for h of x, at x equals to m over 2, the value will be m over 2 times m over 2 minus m. Is that okay? So I've replaced x with m over 2, and that gives us m over 2 minus m is minus m over 2. So we get minus m square over 4. So the value is m square over 4 with a negative sign. So that is the minimum, right? So of course the minimum value is minus m square over 4 depending on the slope. You got the idea, right? So that is how it is going to be. Interval of increasing. So it decreases from minus infinity to x's. X's here is at x equals to m over 2. This is what we're talking about. This is 0 and that point is m. Perfect. So it is increasing in the interval from minus, it is decreasing, but it is increasing in the interval from m over 2, let's write m over 2 to infinity, right? And it is decreasing in the interval from minus infinity to m over 2, correct? Domain. So for domain, it is always x belongs to real number. There are no restrictions on this. As far as range is concerned, y belongs to real numbers where y is greater than or equal to minus m square over 4. Since that is the minimum point, correct? So with that, you get general characteristics of combination of a parabola and a line. Now this is a very important example. I'd like you to go through this example and understand the concepts. Now when you do the exercise, you may have different equations, but the concept is same. You can write all these characteristics as we did here. I hope that helps. I'm Anil Kumar. You can subscribe to my videos and learn a lot. Thank you and all the best.